Hello guys, and welcome to another YouTube educational short. So today I'm going to be coming on and discussing the questions that we're not asking some of our female clients. And it's quite alarming in regards to kind of forward action or looking after the best interests of our clients. And this is something that I've been practicing for quite a while now, and it's quite funny. It's not funny, but it makes me laugh every time when I do ask the question, how much of a surprise it comes to the client when I ask it. Now, obviously, bodybuilding might be our life right now. It's the be all, it's the end all, it's the thing that we love the most, it's the thing that we want to pursue with every ounce of what we've got, whether that's, pro cards, whether that's regionals, whether it's trophies, swords, whatever it is that you are infatuated about bodybuilding. It seems to be the everything that is now, which is fair enough. That's exactly what we want to do. It's good to have that passion and that drive. Now, bodybuilding isn't forever. There's going to be a point where we stop, we retire, we change our minds. And this is what we have to think of in the long run here. This is what we have to also bear in mind when it comes to bodybuilding. So some of the questions that I ask essentially for my female clients are things such as, what are your plans after bodybuilding? Do you want children, or do you want more children if they currently have children? Are you looking to just solely compete for the foreseeable future? Are we like pro card hunting, or are we just looking at this as from like a regional point of view? I want to do a few shows for a few years and then hang up my bikini and call it a day. Now, why are these questions relevant? Why should these be mandatory questions and essential questions within someone's onboarding process or someone's pre-prep status? Because, like I say, there's more to life than bodybuilding. What we are doing within bodybuilding is putting the body under risk. It's putting the body under health implications, which in the long run can affect such long-term things such as having children, health implications, bone density, hormonal imbalances, amenorrhea, like the actual cease and the end of your natural reproductive system. So these are questions that we want to ask, and I think are essential in asking in regards to a female's journey, because there is no harm in asking a question to find out where this female stands. And don't get me wrong, if they turn around and say, I don't care, I'm not interested, like all I want to do is pursue bodybuilding at any costs, that's on them. At least you've had that conversation, then you're both aware. Because let's say, for example, fast forward down the line, 3 years with this competitor, and they decide that the bodybuilding is done for them, they want to have children, they want to move on, and now it comes to a point where they physically can't. Hormonal reproduction system is completely ceased and they're not able to have children. This is something that is potentially a prospect. So is that something you want to be sitting down and having a conversation with someone? And this is the thing, a lot of people will say, oh, it's fine, I'll do this, or I'll go through like treatment afterwards. It's not always as simple as that. You can't always just click your fingers and it magically appear. There are more implications to be thinking about here. Same as crashing estrogen levels or having imbalances in progesterone or estrogen and testosterone levels. They're going to have health implications as well. The majority of people nowadays are coming up within their 20s and 30s looking to compete. This is the prime kind of time where bone density is being formed. And if you're missing out on times like that by mismanaging hormones, what's life going to be like in your 40s and your 50s or your 60s? And I know it sounds a bit boring, me coming on here and going, eat your fucking greens, kids. You want to be big and strong, but it is something that needs to be taken into account. There is more to life than bodybuilding. There is life after bodybuilding. And, if we're not managing health and we're not managing the variables that we can within that, not just from a longevity perspective, but also within your prep, also within your off seasons and season to season, this is something that if a client is looking to compete season after season after season, you then have to ask the question, okay, well, doing this naturally is probably the most unhealthiest way of doing it. And I know people frown upon performance enhancing drugs within females, but personally, I think it's because it's misunderstood. People are not looking at the data, they're not looking at the other options. I think when people hear performance enhancing drugs within females, they instantly think Anova. And then that's the go-to. There's so many other things that are from a performance enhancing perspective, not just drugs. Performance enhancing perspective can be something as simple as caffeine, because it's going to elevate, it's going to stimulate, it's going to focus. It doesn't have to be a hormonally changing drug or an androgenic drug, which we know females are hypersensitive to. So I think the reason potentially this conversation isn't being had more is because people are not looking at the bigger picture. People are not understanding the implications and potential problems that could be had. And also people are just looking at the here and now. They want the stage, they want the trophy, they want the glitz and the glamour or potential social media presence, there is nothing wrong with that at all. This is part of bodybuilding now. But I think what needs to be taken into account, especially from a coaching perspective, is these questions need to be asked to their clients so that their clients are made aware. So that when it does, or hopefully never, but if it does come to that point at the end of a client's season or the end of a client's competitive season of, okay, I now want to come away from this and I want to focus on health, it's not too late. You've been focusing on health this whole period of time, throughout prep, throughout an off season, having conversations with clients such as, if you want to compete year after year, then we're going to have to do X, Y, and Z to support that. Or, if you're going to need to take time off to train, to grow in an off season, then we need to have X, Y, and Z in there to support this. Or we need to make sure that these hormones are in this place and this is going on in this way. A question that I ask all my females is, do you track your hormones? Do you track your period? Do you track your cycle? Are you aware of where you should be within what week and what month? And 9 times out of 10, no one knows. And it's something that not only can help in regards to a health perspective, but also from a performance perspective. And then you can also look at adding things such as performance enhancing drugs on top of that, which can help aid, help support, help with performance, not just get you fucking wham and win trophies, because that's not, yes, it is the end goal. Yes, we want to do that, but we want to do it in a healthy and positive way. So questions that I think should most definitely be asked for a female competitor. And if your coaches aren't asking those questions, ask them as to what the plan would be, because it's something that definitely needs to be taken into consideration. Anyway, guys, thank you always for tuning in. Much love, stay blessed, and I will see you all soon for the next one.